Welcome back to the Stormcast, everyone. This is the podcast where we talk all things TABC sports. My name is Ali Achberg, and I'm here, I think, for the first time live with my co-host, Oren Glickman. Oren, how are you doing today?
Didn't we do a volleyball pregame? Oh no, that was with Jonathan Kaplan. So this is a first time for me as well.
First time for me. Very exciting. So we're on the precipice of a very big game for varsity basketball. When you were listening to this, the game probably happened, but I think that's a great place to start with varsity basketball. Varsity basketball is right now 1-1 of the season, which is to be expected and also not to be expected. They upset Frisch in game one off of an incredible performance by Akiva Borgen, dropping 19 points with 9 rebounds. Jonathan Faber adding 17, Yost Kahn adding 3 clutch threes, Shlomo Wenger, Yuta Taub, Naftali Hochstein. I just named everyone in the rotation, but really just incredible performances all around. But then they lost to DRS, an unfortunate loss yesterday, and are now playing MDY, a team that just beat SAR, a very formidable team. So, Oren, what are your thoughts on the past two games, and what are your keys to tonight's game?
On this very court that we're sitting in front of.
Yes.
In about less than an hour. I think Coach Oz, before the season started, going into this tough stretch, Frisch, DRS, Magan, that's really, you're feeding your team to the wolves by starting with those 3 teams. I think the goal was always to see if you could go 2-1. So if you win tonight, mission accomplished. Magan's going to be a tough matchup. It's ironic. We beat Magan last year in the Sarachek final, and we were the ones who had the size. Now it's Magan who have all the size. So the same way we were able to neutralize Isaac Stepner to an extent, I think we'll have to go zone against Magan this time, the way we did against Frisch, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
And that's what works so well against Frisch, that 2-3 zone. And also, just a note about the Yeshiva League in general, just a lot of parity this year. A lot of good teams. You have TBC beating Frisch, and obviously Frisch is in the upper echelon of the league. Flatbush, Hillel, SAR, MDY. A lot of parity. So it's going to be a very tough test, this upcoming schedule for this varsity basketball team.
Yeah. After this is your last non-conference game. So if you can split after the DRS loss, that'd be great. And then you have a tough 3-game swing, because the teams that are coming up afterwards are the teams you're going to be battling with for a playoff spot between JC, Ramaz, and Or Yisrael.
Yeah, there's really going to be no gimmies for this team. And that's why I think that win against Frisch was so big. Starting 0-3, or it would be so devastating and really just an impressive performance. And if they go 2-1 tonight, it's a massive success. If they go 1-2, I don't think the sky is definitely not falling. I think if we went 0-3, the sky would be falling. But thank God we're not. And I think even if we go 1-2, I think we should be good. We played DRS competitive yesterday. Unfortunately, it fell apart in the fourth quarter. But overall, pretty good. Any other thoughts on varsity basketball, Oren?
No, big game tonight. I feel like the Pit is the 6th man, so we really need the Pit to really pack it in.
Exactly. And just a preview, this Sunday at 2 p.m., Ramaz will be coming to TABC. Another big game. Ramaz also good, I believe. And TABC will be going to JEC a week from tomorrow, when you guys are probably listening to this a week from today, against JEC, who's no longer a pushover in the Yeshiva League. We remember this JV team from last year, defeating our JV team. In an upset in the last game of the season to deprive us of the bye, which led us to being first rounded. And this JC team, a lot of the same people on the team. So,
before that game we have Ramaz.
Yeah, I said Ramaz also.
Oh, those are going to be even games, and they can go down. I think they'll go down to the wire for sure.
Yeah. So moving on to the team that's practicing right behind us as we speak. We're going to talk about JV basketball. JV basketball is the only core 4 team, I'd say, to not play a game. They are 0-0, but they have a packed schedule coming up. Heschel will be coming tomorrow night, or when you guys are listening to this, probably tonight, Tuesday night at 6:45. Then MTA will be coming here on Motzei Shabbos. And then next Tuesday, along with varsity playing against JEC, JV will also be playing against JEC. So, we've discussed previously a little bit about this team, but what are these expectations for the first 3 games? Anyone really stand out in practice that we weren't expecting to? What's the possible rotation look like? Obviously, we're not the coaches. We just like players to highlight.
I think all 3 of those games are expected to be blowouts for TABC. I mean, you're returning 3 out of 5 starters. Ezra Adams, Tani Stein, and Josh Neese. Guys who could probably compete already at the varsity level. So, of all the teams that have high expectations going into this season, it's this team. And I would expect a big blowout on opening night tomorrow night against Heschel.
Yeah, and then they also play Kushner. I know it's in a little while from now. That also, I don't think expected to be a close game. And then the schedule gets hard. Ramaz, Frisch, SAR, Hillel, Frisch. So similar to last year, JV starts off with a pretty easy schedule. Last year they started off 5-0. This year it looks like to be 4-0 at least, and then we'll see from there. Then it's going to get really tough. So we're going to need some of the best players on this team: Ezra Adams, Tani Stein, Josh Nee, Shai Bakel. Maybe see some new guys. Some of the bigs get involved and really make an impact. Okay. Any final thoughts on boys JV?
No. On to hockey, and I have a missed call, so let's try to get this done sooner rather than later.
Okay, so let's move on to the team that the only one of the two undefeated teams, varsity hockey. Varsity hockey has been a mix of emotions. They had 3 easier games we thought going into this. Defeated JC 18-1, defeated Kushner 9-0. But the game that we thought also wouldn't be close, TBC was losing 3-1 in the third period to Ori Searle. Been an incredible comeback on the backs of Danielle Kurtz, David Ratchersdorfer, Jaden LaFell, and Marty Teitelbaum, winning 5-3. So Wednesday night's going to be their biggest test of the year since the season started. We own 2 Frisch, arguably the favorite in the league, without Jaden LaFell, with the Ice Guys playing for Frisch. So what are the keys to that game? And then also we will be playing Ramaz. Ramaz will be coming to us, Moshe Shabbos. And then we'll be going to SAR next Monday. So 2 really, really big games. Ramaz is not a pushover either. What have you taken away from this varsity hockey team? And what can we look to extrapolate going forward?
I think it was strategic the way they assembled the schedule, playing these 3 opponents first to, gin up some momentum, gin up some confidence. But it's like you said, those 3 games were kind of preseason. They were practice games up to the ultimate point of preparing for Frisch. And now we'll see what this team is really made of Wednesday night when they play against Frisch. And on top of all that, unexpected, but now you have to go up against the favorite of the league without your captain and Jaden LaFell. So you got to meet the big moment. Big responsibility is now going to be on the shoulders of a Dean Cattler and Saul Sandell in net.
Yeah, so again, SAR also another very formidable team that I believe 2 years ago they were the champions of the league. You've always talked about Jack Linhart as best player in the league. And hopefully we'll have Jaden back by then. But that's even not a given. So it's going to be a really tough test for this varsity hockey team. And will be the real test. Similar to JV basketball in a few weeks, and similar to these first few games for varsity basketball, this is the real test. The tests aren't mixed around for any of these teams. They are bunched up. So we'll see how much success this varsity hockey team can have. And then moving on to the final team, boys JV hockey. I don't know. I'm just reading off my show. I said boys. This team is playing a game tonight, in 20 minutes as we speak. They are 2-0. They beat Ramaz 5-2 and beat Radi 5-2. Both games, they were losing 2-1 in the second period.
They were down twice.
Yeah,
1-0, then 2-1.
Yeah, they were down in both games. 2-1 also in the second period. Yeah. Made a comeback in both, 1-5-2. So eerily similar games. So I did not have the privilege to attend either of those games. I think, Oren, you were at both.
Yes.
So what have been the takeaways from this team? Who's impressed? And, of course, tonight playing Flatbush. And the big test in a week from Thursday, Frisch will be coming to us. That's in a little while, but that's the big test. What can we take from that?
I think it's very interesting. I think Ramaz and YD were a little bit unpredictable. We didn't know what to expect going in, but win's a win at the end of the day. Maybe if you play them later on in the season, you beat them by more. Frisch is the ultimate test, as you talked about. Flatbush should be a rout tonight because, Flatbush are playing in JV for the first time in a while. In terms of players to highlight, I think I would highlight the 3 alternate captains. They've shown a lot of leadership experience and played well as the first line. Noah Schwabel, Jack Solomon, David Allen. In terms of freshman promise, I think you're seeing the Gramasians, both Jacob and Judah, who bring a lot to the table.
Shout out to American Dream Water Park.
We had a good time the other night, and we'll see how they do. We're expecting a big win tonight, and then just like varsity hockey, they'll have their big first real test against Frisch a week from Thursday.
Yeah. So this team is again another very, very, very exciting team, and I think that we've covered the core 4 sports, and I believe we will be having a very special interview coming up with varsity basketball star, deemed the MVP of the game, Shai Hershtick. So, Oren, do you have any parting words, any final thoughts on these 4 teams? If you want to mention anything about ice hockey, and also just shout out the freshman goalie Shafrin, Kobe Shafrin.
Kobe Shafrin, yes,
he stepped up big
way
into
the line of duty twice.
Exactly, very clutch. So, sorry for breaking that up there, but we will be in Mitzvah having Shai Hershtick on here. So very exciting. Any final words, Oren?
No, listen, TABC Sports is off to a good start. I always appreciate what you guys do. Noah Kessler is a very good producer, but at the end of the day, it's very hard to do these shows on game night when you have to attend to many different things. So I'm happy I was able to get on, and now I present you guys with Shy Hershtick.
Let's go.
What up? How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Okay,
boys?
so Shy, Shy it's the first time on his team. He's considered a freshman on the team, and he got into the first game last night. So Shy, if you want to describe the emotions, you are a Pitt favorite, and what was it like hearing the Pitt chant for you? Shy off the bench, and then getting into the game, and arguably against one of the best teams in the issue.
I mean, listen, whatever brings energy to the crowd, I mean, it works. But just good to be there, finally getting on the team. Just a good feeling.
Exactly, Shy the legend. Shy, you have any words for the pod?
Put Chai in. We're winning. We're going all the way. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, thank you, Shy. Thank you all.
Guys, too.
Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. And we will see you next week.